Hello. Hi. So I am feeling a little ill, so I'm a little low energy, but some of the reasons that I'm feeling low energy are some of the reasons why I'm making this video, so just bear with me. So I had actually recorded some material on this that got deleted. Had a whole bunch of drama with an external hard drive, and just anyway, like I lost a whole bunch of footage that I had been taping from between March and now, which is June. And I think a lot of the random footage that I have, which is just like vlogs that I've done, has touched on the subject that I want to talk about right now. So I've been filming a lot in spite of losing that footage, and filming through that footage, and I think being really productive vlogging and editing wise, at least for me, because I have been filming myself since I left to go since I started traveling. I'd say roughly starting in December, because I got a camera in November, and then I went to Seattle, and I don't think I filmed at all the whole time I was in Seattle. And then when I went to London, that's when I really started filming, like practically every day. And so I had amassed a ton of footage, and I didn't really do anything with it because life was great and I was really busy and blah 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 blah. And then sort of my process when I'm not doing well is I find something to keep myself busy. So spoiler, this video is about depression, anxiety, mental illness, mental health, or whatever. So I have suffered from depression and anxiety off and on for as long as I can remember. I don't think I called it that when I was younger, but I definitely had a lot of sadness and like suicidal thoughts and stuff growing up as a kid. And I had like an in-school counselor that I saw literally all the time, that my mom made sure that I saw, because my mom saw that I really had issues and struggled with like self-esteem and personal happiness and health and body image, self-image, just like a lot of just everyday sadness, sensitivity, whatever, what have you. And so from middle school on, like I used to, see a counselor, and I think even in elementary school I saw counselors, but in middle school I literally had a dedicated counselor that I could see at any time. I could get pulled out of class to see a counselor. So I've always sort of known that I had like, mental health issues, depression, whatever, but I was never put on medicine for it. I also had ADHD growing up, and we tried medicine for that once and it didn't work out. That's another video. But anyway, so I've always sort of dealt with like my, mental issues, like through behavioral modification, whether that's, I'm a writer, whether that's writing or yoga or talking to somebody like friends and family, or a lot of ways that might not be necessarily healthy that I've dealt with. It has just been through like isolating myself. That's usually probably my go-to when things aren't good, is I just like sort of disconnect from everyone. I isolate myself, and this was really detrimental when I was younger because I was suicidal. And so like the last thing you should do when you're not in a good place and emotionally and you're suicidal is cut off all outside communication and lifelines. And so luckily now today I'm not suicidal. Like I think if you suffer from depression, you do think about death. You are probably morbid. Death does seem like an easy way out, but I don't consider that an option. I don't want to not live. I don't wish for death. At the same time, I do still think of death when I'm really tired. Like, oh, that would be easy, but I don't want that. Gosh, this is a very morbid video. But like, the reason I bring it up is because of the way depression works for me. Sometimes being like, being someone who suffers from depression, and also being someone who's really high functioning and highly intellectual. Like if there isn't causation that I can tie my depression to, a lot of times I will try to talk myself out of being depressed. So say everything in my life is technically great. Like right now I feel like when I look at my life, I'm sorry, my allergies are really bad today. When I look at my life, my allergies are bad all the time in Portland. When I look at my life, everything is great, right? Like I have a great job. I am making money that I never thought I would make at this age. My business, while my business is in a position that if I wasn't a scaredy cat, it could grow tremendously and be really successful. And it's just waiting on me to make those moves to make that happen. You know, I love myself for the first time in 32 years. Like I feel really good about who I am as a person on the planet. Like I have a really good set of core friends. Like life is good. So when I lay it all out in black and white, I'm like, no, you can't be depressed. Everything's great. Like what do you have to be depressed about? Nothing. Therefore everything is fine. And this is how I sort of try to talk myself out of when I'm feeling down. And so because I am this way, if I start to go into depression, it takes me sometimes a very long time to realize that I have slipped into depression. I don't know what else to call it. There might be technical terms, but because I haven't seen someone regularly for it since middle school, I don't know the terms. But I bring all this up because for the last several weeks, I have been severely depressed and anxious, and I just didn't realize it. And I tried to talk myself out of it. And what I mean by that is like I have been struggling to get out of bed. I have been crying or trying not to cry incessantly. I have been feeling like every single thing is like a struggle. Like even talking about it right now, I feel like sobbing hysterically. And I have just been feeling like this weight on me. And if I'm not feeling that way, like everything is just excruciatingly painful and like heartrending and like sobbing, like my heart is broken and not knowing why I feel that way. If I'm not that way, what has happened and what triggered me to realize how bad it was, I'm dissociating. So like once that gets to be too much and I've done that pattern for too long and I've been in that extreme state of like emotional torment for too long, I will go to the flip side of that, which is just like dissociation, where I feel completely disconnected from reality. Like I don't feel real, the world doesn't feel real, people don't feel real. Like I can kind of see and sense things around me, but like they're vague or blurry, and like things are out of focus. I don't feel things, I don't taste things. Like everything is just like through a veil. Time doesn't move the way it's supposed to. Like when I walk places, like I lose time and I'm like, how did I get places? Like it takes all of my energy to focus on things for them to be real. Like, and so this is sort of like how I dissociate, and like I just like start to feel like my body's not even my body, and like how am I even here? Am I even here? It almost feels like a machine that's being operated by someone else. And so these are sort of, I go on like extreme autopilot where I'm like, I know how I'm supposed to function as a human being, and I can mimic that, even though I'm skeptical that I'm the one doing the thing, because I don't feel it at all. And so when I go from the extreme of feeling everything too much to feeling nothing, and then go back to feeling everything, that's when I really know, like, oh no, I am not well. And that is sort of like the thing that triggers me to be like, oh, I'm depressed. Because when you go from feeling everything to feeling nothing and then go back to feeling everything, it is unbearable. And so that is when I'm like, oh, this is depression, because this feeling, even though I don't know the cause of this feeling is not okay. This feeling is not normal. This feeling is a problem, and I need a solution to this problem. And so that is the realization I had a week or two ago, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I talked to a couple of my friends about it, because I was like, I don't really know what to do. I'm really not okay. Normally I would just sort of disconnect from everyone. I feel like I should talk to someone. You're my friends. I'm trying not to do the thing where I disconnect. And you know, my friends were like, hey, do you want to see someone about it? And I was like, hey, fuck no, I really don't like to talk to people. I don't want to meet a new person and tell them about my problems. But you know, it's bad enough now that I'm like, oh, no, I am gonna have to see somebody. I'm gonna have to talk to somebody. And because I can't tie it to any situation or circumstance in my life, I'm like, oh, it also might be chemical, which is a whole other frustrating thing for me because I really don't like medicine. I just wanted to make sure I was still recording because my camera might die. And so now I also have to deal with the fact that I might have to take medicine for this, because the one time I did see someone in my adult life for this, they were like, well, you've been suffering from this for your whole life. You should probably go on medicine for a while just to regulate and rebalance out your system. For like at least 6 months, I'd like you to be on meds. And I was like, great. So it's to the point that I do really think, I feel like I just want to function as a normal person. I just want to feel like everything doesn't hurt all the time. Like I'm not trying not to like cry or be in excruciating agony all the time, feeling all the feelings and feeling like everything is wrong and everything is terrible, and like getting out of bed every day is like agony, and walking around is agony, and like every single thing that I have to do is like feeling like 100 pounds of stone, and I'm just exhausted. And so that's why I've been making all these videos, because it's something to do to take my mind off of like how terrified I am of the crushing weight of like everything that's going on with me that I can't control, because I'm a big control freak, and there's nothing more terrifying than having all these feelings and not being able to like solve them myself, or make them go away, or you know, whatever. And I just feel really out of control in terms of like my emotions or my feelings. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about it, because I know there's other people that go through this, and I think it's a really important subject, and I definitely want to talk about it some more, but my camera's definitely gonna die, and I don't feel like I have a lot of energy anyway to do a really long video about this. So this is just like a short little intro, I guess, and if this is something people are interested in, I'd love to talk more about it and what I think I'm gonna do and what I've started to do to deal with it. So thanks for watching. Bye. Saw you across the room thinking I could make a meal with you. Trips across the globe, 5-star meal with you. In the crib, 5 stories, baby, I just wanna build with you. Cause I'm feeling you, baby, you can go.